Okay, this is just a little experiment. Oh, okay, that just blipped. Oh, that was a bit worrying. This here, it's a little bit loud. I'm going to turn it down. I hope I'm not disturbing anybody. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So the other day I got to go to quite a remote little location in mid Wales, which is where I live, but I'd never actually been to this place. It was a little church that was like out in the middle of nowhere and there was nobody else around, which is ideal because this is kind of noisy, as you may know, and it was a great chance to do a little bit of a paranormal investigation and a spirit box session, and I got absolutely loads. Bear in mind, I couldn't even get internet reception, it was that remote where we were, but there was absolutely loads coming through this, and some really weird stuff came through about halfway through. So I do a little walkabout there, which I'll show you in a minute. I was actually there with my friend, but they didn't want to be on camera, which is fair enough, I respect that. And yeah, I did a little walkabout. Some of the graves were quite old. The church itself was built in 1838, but I actually found out later when I came home that the history of the site goes way back to like medieval times, and even earlier than that. Apparently there was a religious site on that land in like the 700s, so I had no idea at the time just how old this particular land was, but we found graves from the 1830s that were quite close to the church. Yeah, so I presumed it was just Victorian or early Victorian, but no, really old land. But yeah, for some reason I always seem to get loads of responses in graveyards. I don't know why that is. Every time I go to a graveyard, absolutely loads comes through this, and quite clear as well. So yeah, I'll play you the little walkabout that we did and the SBox session that I recorded there, and then I'll play you the SD card file afterwards so you can hear all the little faint bits that didn't necessarily come through in the recording. What is quite frustrating is that whenever I do recordings with these through, I just film on my iPhone, sometimes things can sound differently, like they sound different through when you're filming an SBox compared to when you're listening directly to the recorded internal audio file, and I still don't know quite why that is, but I tend to transcribe from the audio file because that's the most direct recording. So in the first one, if you hear things and you think that doesn't quite sound like it, wait for the actual recording on the SD card, because that's where you'll get the most accurate interpretation of what comes through. But yeah, about halfway through this session, something screamed my name, and then things took a really weird dark turn after that, like they were warning me about something. Have a watch of this. Okay, so today I am at this old church. This is in the middle of nowhere, out in the Welsh countryside, and this was built in 1838, I believe, and there's some really old graves here. I've just been having a little look around. I don't want to tread in any, so I'm going to just try and make sure I'm out of the way. Let's explore. I'm here with a friend, but they don't want to be on camera, so I'm just going to have a little wander about by myself up here and see what we see. So that's a cute little staircase. Don't know where that goes. I don't think there's anybody here, it's just us. And like I said, in the middle of nowhere. It's a little bit windy. And we'll just have a little wander about. I don't know what this is. Where are we? Yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but that looks really old. But yeah, as you can see, let me zoom in on that. 1838. And it is locked, but you can sort of have a little look. Let's see, there's an old pew there, and oh, this is strange. Who is not permitted to marry who? Well, there you go. And it's an old door. Okay, let's have a little wander about. So as always, the oldest graves tend to be right near to the church. So we've got 1839 there. 15 years. This one's completely covered over here with ivy. I will do a little spirit box session, but look at that view. Wow. It's a lovely day. We've had hardly any rain, which is really strange for Wales. So everywhere's looking really dry at the moment and very yellow. Let's have a look. 1833. Oh, that's strange. That's actually, is that 1833? Or 55? I'm not sure actually. Maybe there was a church on this site that's even older. But yeah. There's some newer ones as well down there. So yeah, I will do a spirit box session and see what we get. People are so young. This one's 21. This one is my age, 40. This one's a bit sad because there's a really lovely poem here to his wife, but she's not in there with him. That's quite sad. 1838, 1 year. Wow. So a lot of these are probably unmarked graves down here. This is kind of an interesting chimney. It's really decorative. Yeah, so there's just a nice little church in the middle of the countryside. Nobody around. So let's do a spirit box session. If there's any spirits here that want to talk, I have devices and you can communicate. Okay, it's really windy, but I've got my SBox here. Let's record and do this. Are there any spirits here? Hello? Who's here?
No, I do not.
Okay, quite a lot coming through. What's your name? There's a grave here. I try not to sort of go near the new ones. Can you tell me the name of this grave here? Is Raymond here? Calling you, I think that said. Who's here? Who do we have? There's so much coming through. Let's talk to some Victorians. Where are we right now? Can you tell us where we are? Oh, that was a bit worrying. This here is a little bit loud. I'm going to turn it down. I hope I'm not disturbing anybody. I don't want to disturb anyone. You want to talk by the sounds of it?
I'm next.
You're next? Okay. Oh, that's a nice name. Zilpha. That's a cool name. There's Zilpha here. I like your name. Do you have any messages for the living? Are you at peace? Did you used to work here? Are there any old vicars that used to work here? Would you like to come through? What's your name? Terrible, does that say? We come in the spirit of respect and curiosity. What's it like to be dead? Can you tell us? I feel like I should stop now, maybe. There's a lot coming through. Alright, thank you for talking to me. Anything else you want to say? Anything else you want to say? Okay. Thank you. Okay, so that was interesting. There was absolutely loads coming through this. And there was like a man's voice that was quite deep, and that was coming through quite a lot. Yeah, a really interesting place. And I'm really interested to go and transcribe that, actually, because there was so much coming through, and like I said, we are in the middle of nowhere. So, what was that all about? I don't know whether to have another little bit of a walk around and see if there's anything to see. It's quite warm, so, but yeah, that's the church. Lots of sheep. Okay, this is just a little experiment. Oh, okay, that just blipped. Just a little experiment. As you can see, I am still in this cemetery, and I am filming the wrong way. I should have it on the side, but never mind. If there's any spirits here, can you affect this K2? I have just been talking to a lot of, well, a lot came through on the SBox. Looking forward to transcribing that. If any spirits want to further prove that they're here, you can affect this. You can make the lights flash if you come close to it. It's a very noisy bird somewhere. If you come close to it, you can make this flash. Can you do that? I can hear birds.
No, I do not.
Is wait no that wasn't. And next, dust. Now it is. Mode. Go, baby.
So yeah, I don't know what you made of that, but it was really strange, the second half of it. I've actually got the transcription of it here and I can read it out. They shouted my name. I heard like this weird shriek at the time and it was quite disturbing. I thought, what was that? And then it wasn't until I actually got home and listened to the SD card file, I was like, that sounds like Carly, that sounds like my name. And then straight afterwards it said, leave here, leave, won't leave, please go, do not ignore. Like, what is that all about? And then it said barman, I think, at one point. So did like the spirit of a barman turn up who wasn't very nice and they were trying to warn me about him? Really weird. But at the end there was this really gruff man's voice that said found a way. No, that's it. He said breaks free, and then something said you found them, and then this same voice again said found a way. So I don't know, that kind of disturbed me a little bit. Like, did I unleash something? Let me know in the comments what you made of that. That was weird. Because there weren't any like negative vibes or anything at this church. I was just saying to my friend when I was there, like, it doesn't feel negative or haunted. It was a really nice location to be in. It didn't have any weird kind of stuff going on, but who knows? This is the thing, we really don't know what we're playing around with devices like this. We still don't, there are no experts on this thing. We still don't really know what it is we're talking to or how the spirit world really works. I do think negative entities are real. I think enough people have had experiences and things that would suggest that negative entities are something. I don't think they're as harmful as some people think they are. I think the living are more harmful, put it that way. But I think we should be careful and we should be wary, and I do try and do protection and all that kind of thing just to make sure that there is that layer of spiritual protection there, because like I say, we don't know what we're going into with this kind of thing and probably shouldn't be played around with. I did do some digging into the history of the place, as I always do, but unfortunately I couldn't find any sort of connections with anything, any names or anything like that's coming through the box. But this is the problem with small sort of rural village locations. There isn't much recorded history there, even though you can see by the amount of graves there's a wealth of actual history that happened, but not very much that's actually recorded, and even less again that's on the internet for us to access. So that is one of the frustrating places with going to, one of the frustrating things about going to these smaller places, is that it can be tricky to dig up history on things. As for the barman reference, if it did say that, there are pubs close by in the nearby village. There would have been a couple of coaching inns that are historic that would have gone back a long time. They're like 2 miles away, I think, from this particular location. So who knows? I mean, pubs were very popular back then. Who knows? Did it say barman? Might it have been something else? Yeah, I'm still pondering that. Let me know what you think. Something I haven't done in ages actually is a little session on camera, mainly because I get hardly anything through. In fact, it's a good comparison to see how little I get through on camera right now compared to how much I got in that 4-minute session that you just listened to. So let's do a quick session.
SBox. Scanning.
It's so noisy. And can you tell me what came through at that churchyard? Weird. I have no control over this. It does what it wants. Something. What was I speaking? What happened at the churchyard? Did a negative entity come in? Did I let it in? Very faint. So, last chance. Last chance. See, I am baffled. I'm still baffled as to why I get so little when I do this on camera, yet I can go to a cemetery in the middle of nowhere and get absolutely loads through. What do you think is going on? I am really fascinated to know. Let me know in the comments down below. Hope you enjoyed this one. Please do like and subscribe if you did. Love and light to you all. Stay curious. Bye.